Hello and welcome, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to U.S. Revolution. Boy, we were just on fire in that intention circle because today we've got an incredible guest who literally has lifted herself from so many challenges to a place of incredible higher dimensional awareness, joy, and possibility. Because one of the things that she channels is something very unique that comes through in an incredibly unique way. And it is, in essence, a language, a super high angelic frequency language that you're going to see and feel today with some callers actually break up energetic patterns and remove things like heart walls, and also begin to work in the area of DNA and also the family lines. And we've got Dawn Crystal with us, and we're going to be talking about abundance very specifically today. How do we create an abundance path to financial wealth from our own truth and essence without any of those old patterns holding us back? Now, 2021 is right around the corner. A lot of us may think about financial life and saying, you know what, I know there's something else for me here to do. I know there's something else I should be doing. I know I shouldn't be living the same year over and over again. We are going to help you move some of those energies beyond, and we're also going to help you learn to use source sound frequencies to clear money blocks so that we can really live in abundance. I think a lot of the money beliefs are very old, perhaps even Babylonian, from those original grids and control templates put on the planet. And these things are creating a very interesting world and environment. We've got to move beyond them. We've got to lift beyond these to really become free. And I know Dawn is going to help us to break these old patterns up. So get ready. We're going to do this big. So go ahead and press star 2 on your phone. I'm really excited because Dawn is here, and she's an internationally recognized voice sound healer. She's a medical intuitive. She's also a respected life coach, soul reader, medium, and she also works in the area of pain relief as well. And this is just from the frequencies that she transmits. All of these things start to come forward. Things like relieving the pain and discomfort, relieving fear, plugging into happiness, releasing fatigue. And she also has a very firm grasp on ancient wisdom and how it plays out in this ascension timeline. She's also passionate about helping people clear emotional and also physical and mental breakdowns and blockages so they can live their lives, and yes, even their business, if it's on a way that they want to go forward, to live effectively and do that in alignment to your soul purpose. That's really what I am all about, because if we're doing something from our soul, then I believe it's infinite. There's infinite possibilities, and she's helped people all over the world as clients release themselves quickly from the pain held at the quantum level, the emotional level, the physical level, and even, those familial DNA lines that maybe we don't even know about. Ask yourself this question: do your mom and dad have financial abundance, or do they have the kind of financial abundance that you'd want? Meaning, if they had financial abundance, were they really happy? Were they really connected? Or was there something that came along with that? Now maybe you are starting to see there's a pattern there that you are starting, or maybe already have taken on. We want to move that forward. She's been doing amazing things throughout the world, and she lives a peaceful life in Maui with her adorable animal companions, and she helps people all over the world through special support with sound frequency help, and we're going to be doing it today. I want to share what a few people have been sharing. She says, I literally had gotten Dawn's abundance work about 4 days ago. I listened to just a few of the frequencies, but I got to tell you this. In the past, I had never felt very happy about money. Now I am so happy about money. It's strange to have this swift of a transformation, because money had always been an issue. Now, to think about money, I just feel happy. And to feel all the money I want that is there for me is really strange, but I feel it now. Another person wrote in and said, I had 10 years of blocked energy cleared from Dawn's work. I learned of her gift. I booked a session, and in less than 2 months, my life has transformed to a life of ease and grace. And this was after stagnation for more than 10 years. Another person had literally heavy energy move out of their body that was causing pain. This is Grace. Grace said, at the time, Dawn actually worked with me. She cleared out a lot of heavy energy, which started to get things moving with the chronic pain I was feeling. and it allowed these things to move quickly. She is truly a gift. So here's what I want to do. Now, the person said they could walk upstairs with no pain. Kathy, Kurt, we're going to jump in because I know many of you are going to say, as we always say at UWealth Revolution, enough of the stories. It's time for your divine story to unfold. So let's welcome Dawn Crystal back to UWealth Revolution. Dawn, welcome back.
Oh, a big aloha, Darius. That was so well said, and thank you so much for inviting me back to your soul family, and I'm so humbly grateful to be here today, and I just want to say thank you to everybody who's also here taking their time. Thank you so much. I send you so much love and aloha, so thank you.
Thank you, and I want to start out maybe with a little bit of your work because you talk about something called source sound frequencies. What are these source sound frequencies? Where do they come from?
Well, it's pretty easy. My work is very cut and dry and simple because there's really no fluff to my work at all, Darius. And the easiest way that I can actually describe what source sound frequencies is my connection to the divine of all of life. Okay, so we all have our own word for the Creator. So again, that's where my energy comes from. It doesn't come from another solar system or a planet. Really, it's a frequency. And some people call it a language, but, you know, I really just call it sound frequency because there is really no language when it comes to source, the Creator. It's just sound. And sound is the most powerful force of the whole universe, really, if you go back and look through our you know, just history, okay? So that's what I've been given. In some ways, I feel like I've earned the gift through my life experiences in some ways, and I've had many challenges, I think, just like everybody has in some ways. So I have a lot of compassion and a lot of know-how how to work with all different situations, and we're talking today about abundance blocks because that's something that I truly, Darius, had to work on pretty much a lot of my life until my gifts showed themselves to me about how to work on clearing these because a lot of these could be very unconscious, you know? Yeah. So source frequencies, just in a nutshell, is really, I just say, directly channeled through my voice from the divine Creator of all of life.
Yeah, and I mean, we've described this in the past as kind of like a high-pitch angelic type frequency that comes through, and we're going to get into all of that, and we're going to also help a lot of people break up some of these patterns. Now, for you, you shared some of the hardships earlier. I mean, take us back. I mean, you experienced quite a bit of financial lack. What was going on at the time? Where were you sort of at the most challenging position or place?
Yeah, well, I'll just make a long story short. But when I was young, I had a very hard life growing up. I grew up in a very, my mom and dad were not together, to make a long story short, but my mom raised a whole family of 6 on welfare. So I listened to mostly my whole life, Darius, of listening to my folks, or my mom anyway, and everybody else around me about complaining about they don't have enough. The money doesn't grow on trees. You probably heard all that stuff. And I had to listen to that my whole life, so I never really had a fair start in some ways, or whatever you want to call it. I was a victim back then, of course. Just a chance to even see anything beyond what I was hearing, and that's all I was inundated with was just the lack that we barely survived, you know, living off of just food stamps, okay? So my challenge in my life as a child, not only because I didn't have both parents available, and my mom was on welfare, is I didn't have any love at all, okay? So that was another thing. I mean, not having love is also part of our abundance, everybody, okay, to receive and give love. Right. Well, I didn't have it from day one. So I struggled with that, and then unfortunately not having money and then trying to go to school as a child, let's put it this way, and me wearing hand-me-down clothes that were about 5 sizes too big, trying to go to school, and the kids were all bullying me, fighting me, making fun of me because I did not look good, okay? I had to go to school wearing my sister's clothes. And then on top of that, it was really hard because I had buck teeth back then as a child because I sucked my thumb because of the fact that I had no love. So I was, obviously that was right there. that was the hardest part. So I think one of the hardest experiences for me, Darius, was when I was about 9 years old, and I was going through all this, going through grammar schools. You know how kids can get a little nasty. they can be pretty brutal, okay? Because I went through it and had many playground fights as well. But I had to get a job at age 9. I actually used to do a paper route, and that was hard because obviously I had no supervision, so I would be on the streets late at night just doing my paper route at age 9, and all these people back then would see me as a child thinking, why is this person parents, right? And of course, I did this for, a while, and a lot of people would ask me, why are you doing this? And I would tell them, well, I needed to make money so I could buy clothes and feed myself because the kids at school were making fun of me. And these people would I didn't know back then the difference. They were crying, and they would actually give me so much extra money. I have to say, I did pretty well at 9 years old because of the compassion, I think, of people seeing me that I was just doing it so I could actually fit in and actually not be beat up to go to school. So, and actually feed myself normal food. So that was really a hard time of my life because I didn't have any friends, I had no support at all.
Now, you moved, I know the story, at least I believe some parts of it is very touching. You moved to, I believe, Hawaii, and it was a time were you not with shelter and not, okay, tell me about that. So then moving through that, this pattern, I'm sure you had some good times, but the pattern seems like it kept coming back, maybe?
No, it didn't. It went through my whole life. That's a great question, Darius. It went through my whole life, and I went through 2 failed marriages until I got to my breaking point, and that was before I was guided spiritually. Actually, I went into a magazine store right at the end of my second marriage because it was so abusive. It was crazy. And I was very successful back then, actually, believe it or not. I always had a good mind as far as business. I had no idea, had no training, but I owned a couple businesses, and at that time, my marriage just fell out. My ex-husband now had a motorcycle accident, almost killed himself, and that was my breaking point. And then I went into a magazine store and saw just a magazine. I believe I was guided at that time, and I opened up the magazine and saw this ad for one of the Hawaiian Islands. And it was just like, go to the sun. That's all I saw. And, of course, I lived on the East Coast at that time, so it was freezing, okay? And I used to go to Hawaii, believe it or not, when I was doing well in my business. I would come here every year. So I knew what it was all about. But I also knew, because I was so down and out at that time of really just, like, what's life? I was really to the point where it's like, why am I even alive? And then at that point is when I was really guided to just kind of sever my life. And the way I did it, Darius, is I gave everything I owned away. My businesses, I trashed everything. I just let everything go. I gave it all away to my ex, and I just basically just came with what I was guided. My soul kind of guided me just to kind of leave, and I was like, really, I just kind of had this really strong intuition or guidance. I've always had it. It's really saved my life many times in the past. But I was guided to bring 2 bags of clothes and a very little money and a little bag of jewelry I had, and I went and did a one-way ticket to one of the Hawaiian Islands. Not the island I'm on now, but I lived out of a car for almost a year. And at that time, I thought it was crazy because I'm thinking, okay, I just left like a very good situation. I had businesses that I built myself from the ground up, and I left it all. But at the time when I thought I was losing my mind and I was crazy because I couldn't afford an apartment, because when I realized I got here, there were security deposits and stuff you needed, and I just didn't have it. But I had enough money at that time, just to make a long story short, to get a rent-a-wreck, which is about a 10-year-old rent-a-wreck car. And at that time, that was my shelter in my house until I could get on my feet. And at that time, I did hold a few jobs to get myself enough money to get a security deposit. But I want to mention, Darius, the beauty of all this happening, it was chaotic. And my life was pretty much chaotic my whole life, okay? I can tell you I had very few moments of happiness, okay? But at that time is when I would actually try to save money. I would think at the time I was thinking to save money to go to the beach just to save my gas. And then at that time I would sit on the beach, and then these sounds, what we'll be hearing today, which I call it my sound energy healing, started coming through my voice. And it was just random. And I thought it was weird at first because this is over 25 years ago. Of course, I'm not there now. But back then, they just came to me, and I was just like listening to them. At first, I was like, what the world? And then after a while, they got louder. And then after a while, I started listening to them. They were soothing me, okay? They were healing me when they were coming through. So what I'm trying to say is that my voice or my sounds came to heal myself, okay? It didn't heal me overnight. I've been working on myself for years since then with my sounds. But learning how to use the sounds to heal myself, and of course, bystanders used to hear me on the beach making sounds. I would usually have people sit down with me, and some people would say, "Lady, your sounds are helping me with my back pain or something." And I'm like, "Oh, wow. Really?" So I would have, and this is over 20-something years ago, okay, Darius. So people back then, were not open to energy work. They actually thought it was pretty weird, okay? We're talking, I was a pioneer pretty much back then. People are looking at me like, I don't know what she's doing. She looks normal, but she's making these sounds and I love them. So I would have people, kind of meet me wherever I would show up for the day, sit on the beach, and then I would have people asking me for my phone number. And back then I was lucky to hold my cell phone, so I would get my cell phone, and I didn't even know. After a while I started doing phone sessions, and I was guided to do that, just beyond my mind, but I was surrendered, everybody. I surrendered because at that time of my life, Darius, I didn't even know how to feed myself every day, okay? I was living on a wing of a prayer. I was pawning jewelry every day so I could go get the money from the pawn shop so I could actually have enough money to live off the dollar menu, you might say, at McDonald's. And that's how I lived for a year. So that was really kind of like the universe or God in some ways, Darius, rearranging me to totally get out of my ego in my belief systems of what I've created with myself. And it shattered all that and actually rebuilt me, is what I would say, in the way that I am today, really to who I really am. And, of course, since then, those are my humble beginnings. But, of course, over 25 years ago, I fine-tuned my gifts. And I'm globally known, as you know, working with people all over the world, sharing it here today on your beautiful platform, Darius. But I've learned to use my gifts, everybody, from really healing myself. So I'm truly authentic and genuine, because I healed my money wounds as well. I've healed a lot of trauma, but it really takes doing it for yourself first, and that's where I was taught. So that's a long story made short. A few breaths of myself, because I do talk fast. But that's
I love it.
Story.
I love it, and I appreciate your work and your journey, because there are a lot of people here who they may not be living, out of their car like you were, but they are going through a very hard time, and they want to let go of whatever it was that you let go of that lets you do, the things you do now. I see you with Jack Canfield on video and, and internationally getting out there, and people might say, I don't know what it was, but I feel like maybe I had that same block. And so we're going to talk about what this is that can limit human beings from really living their best life. Now, we talked privately, and you mentioned DNA and family lineage blockages and residues. Tell me about that. What is the story on DNA and family lineage? Is it related to abundance? Well, because I know that it took me a while to come up with what we're offering today, Darius, as far as abundance. So I was really guided, not just to work. Of course, we're working with our current situation, everybody. We're working with the way we were brought up in this lifetime, because not all of us were born with a gold spoon in our mouth, okay? We grew up with, like I did, parents, our mom or whoever it was, that just broken homes and just listening to it your whole life. But a lot of people here, maybe some people are very fortunate, and I say bless you if you didn't have to go through that. But some of us just have problems with abundance in general. It could be abundance of money, of course, that's the main thing, or abundance to receive whatever you're wanting, creating your whole, whatever your dream life. But it also could be abundance of receiving love. But a lot of that, people who've had probably a pretty normal life are thinking, well, why do I have problems? I mean, why am I having problems with this? And that's what you're talking about right now, is going deeper. And that's where my work goes in, into really getting into the DNA and the epigenetics of our family. Okay, we're talking, everybody, our ancestors, okay? Generational energy that is actually passed down from our ancestors, through our lineage, okay? And a lot of times, a lot of this energy is just like, it could be traumas or just things that just happened in our ancestors' lives that were never resolved. And unfortunately, we inherit a lot of that. And there's a lot of books written about this. But it's also just, our DNA, it really just kind of limits our DNA and limiting our negative bonds, within ourselves. So it's kind of like called a block in some ways. Yeah. You might call it abundance block. But basically, it's just genetic imprints, okay? I call it tags. It just kind of stays with you to one of us, and probably this generation, whenever we get conscious enough, we start working on ourselves, and of course we start healing our family lineage, okay, which is our ancestral line. And that really is wonderful, because it also helps heal the past, but it's also clearing yourself to a future of your family, okay? So I call it ancestral imprints, DNA coding, and of course I'm always working with our DNA in all strands and clearing, because if you're going to clear abundance of blocks, it's not always, I can tell you a lot of times, I've been doing this work for many years with people clearing abundance, and a lot of it is in the generational energies, okay? Because a lot of people come to me, they say, I have no idea why
can't get, by. I mean, I just kind of it seems like I just have enough money, and then when I do make money, it disappears magically. Or some people just never have enough to even get by, okay? And these people are working hard, they have successful jobs, and somehow money just kind of disappears or something, or something happens. And I've done really deep work with these people, clearing these, and dissolving these negative epigenetic bonds they've been holding, with I would say using my own precise frequency and vibration to basically dissolve all the negative bonds that are within a person. Now, this also opens you up, Darius, as you were kind of explaining before. I love what you were explaining today in your topic, but this also opens you up to receive your truth of when you clear all this distortion and all this stuff, and of course the abundance blocks are that, you open yourself up to what you're really born here to do, and really, I call it aligning yourself, everybody, to your soul's calling of what you're really born here to do. And that's what I did. So when I worked on myself many years, everybody, I didn't just do it overnight, okay? This was a process because I had to learn to use my gifts to work on me, so it wasn't as flowing as it is today as I'm working with others, okay? So and I continually, and I mean, I don't know about you, Darius, I mean, I'm still doing my work, okay? We're all on this journey of life, doing our own work continually. So we're expanding, raising our vibration, of course, our consciousness, and opening ourselves up to receive and our true birthright. And this is what my work's all about, is really raising people's just up to the high vibration level that they're supposed to be at, and really clearing their story, okay? And clearing whatever resistance, whatever blocks they have, any DNA within their DNA, or any epigenetics that are affecting their DNA, from them creating or co-creating the life that they really want with the divine. So it's pretty deep and powerful, but I know it's just, we have to do it, and it could be easy because my sounds are kind of like, I call it the first, it just knows where to go with people, since it is rightly directed and right from the Creator itself. So it comes right from me, and Creator beats their heart, everybody, and breathes their lungs, and does it for every living creature on the planet without us thinking about it. So that's the energy frequency I use, and comes through me.
We're going to be feeling this today and going through this with some beautiful beings here today. Now, one of the things you mentioned is the sound frequencies, and when we see sound frequencies, like, when I think of high sound frequencies, I think of, like the old commercial or whatever it was, where an opera singer shatters a glass, through the high frequencies. What do you reckon is happening when some of these higher frequencies you bring in sort of meet with some of that density? Because really our blockages are linear sort of awareness that keeps us maybe in a pattern. To me, really is density or amalgamation of heavy energy, emotion, feeling, or sensation that just hasn't left the body. What happens in that presence of the high vibration?
Well, that's because I know this is just an intuitive side of me, because I am intuitive as well. I'm a soul reader. I can actually connect with a person's soul when I'm working with you. So I know just by that moment of what frequencies, everybody's a little differently, and it might sound the same on the phone when we're working together, but there is frequency under my voice, and I know it's different per person. So it's all about dissolving, okay, and releasing, but doing it in the most loving way for the person, because my work and my voice is not here to jolt anybody. It's about to bring in the divine high vibration of love and support. Okay. And since it's a universal language, and I mean, it's a divine source energy coming through me, it does it in a way that the person on some consciousness level feels more relaxed and knows that this is like yum energy for me. This is aligning me to my truth. It's like people could feel it, and that's why there's like a deep relaxation when I'm releasing. And of course people can feel the energy moving, but they could feel there's a deep sense of connection that I bring with my work to the person's, if it's what they want to call it, their soul or the divine Creator. It's simultaneously at the same time when I'm dissolving any kind of blocks or any type of blockages, or clearing any unconscious patterns that a person's having, okay? So it just varies per person. And the good thing about my work is that I'm not cookie cutter. Everybody's going to be a little bit differently, even though, of course, my MP3s are always universal, and it works for everybody. But when I'm doing sessions, it could be a little bit different, you know what I mean, when I'm going in. So it just varies.
All right, well, I'm going to grab a few questions coming in as we're going to start to experience this in a moment with some different callers. Okay, so we got a few questions coming in. This is pretty interesting. Lori says, Don, you and I are a lot alike. It's even scary, which is really cool. I know a lot of people are resonating. Another person says her stories are so similar to mine. Thank you, thank you. What do you think causes abundance blockages? I mean, if you could go back in time and really think about where you were and when you were suffering the most with this, what do you think it was? What could you put your finger on? Was it a belief? Was it a frequency? Was it something sort of just like a connection to an ancestral line for you personally?
I think for me it was all of the above. I really felt, really honestly, which was a really big one for me, was just my unworthiness, of just feeling unworthy to receive. Yeah, that was huge for me because I had unworthiness of everything in my life at that time. I didn't feel worthy to be loved. And if you don't even have love in your life, love and abundance go hand in hand, okay? So I wasn't even open to receive because I was just so caught up in my unworthiness and sadness of just, just not being able to feel free and just feeling like there was no way out of this. This circle, or whatever you want to call this energy I was in for most of my life, was really very heavy and very depressive, So my life didn't change really until I got on my own, even though I had marriages. But even when I was on my own in the beginning, before I went homeless and went through my 2 marriages, I still was very depressed pretty much my whole life, searching for happiness, and abundance never came to me. I always worked like 3 jobs, just trying to get through even high school. Okay, so it was always a struggle for me. So, but again, as I went and started using my gifts to start healing myself, everybody, of course I cleared all that stuff that was kind of like from this lifetime. But then I realized, as I was guided to go into more of my ancestral, okay, because I was obviously shown through my parents and how they were acting, that they were playing out stories or just energy from their parents, their ancestors, okay, the way they lived. And it just kind of like, I realized it had a lot of compassion on my healing journey, even for my parents, even though I was maybe not with my father, not treated so well through all my family. It's just because that's the way they were downloaded with this, and they didn't have healers back then healing them, or knowledge like we do today, which is wonderful, how we're accelerating here right now on this planet, at this time.
Now, I know a lot of people have questions about, kind of moving forward 2021. And, it's interesting. We're talking about abundance right now as we're, moving into 2021. A lot of people probably want to see different things move forward in their life in different ways. What do you estimate is happening on the planet right now? And what are we moving into? Maybe the better question is, how do we ensure that we move into what we really want, and what we each really desire?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it's just inevitable. We're all going through it right now. It's just the quickening on our planet. You've had a lot of speakers on there probably talk about this, but it's just the vibration of our planet continually raising. I mean, it's more and more people are even getting more empathic. And I feel a lot of shifts all the time, and a lot of planetary shifts. And it's really kind of right now, it's almost like people are getting rattled up in some ways. And it's probably not comfortable, because I still even have it happen to me now, where I have moments where things will just come up on me, and I just need to clear them. And sometimes, it does take a while, even though I thought I cleared everything. It just is just deep stuff that my, I want to say my soul's kind of using this opportunity, whatever's happening on our planet, to really cleanse myself and really align myself to whatever is, going to happen in our future. I can tell you, it's not going to happen against our free will, because that's not the way the divine works. But it's definitely everybody's what we're ready, and probably we signed up for before we even came here, for this ascension process that is happening right now. Even though we may not be totally conscious of what's happening, but it's for our highest good. And I really know that probably when we get through this, it's going to be a very good time. It's just right now there's just a lot of chaos going on our planet, of course, and we're kind of looking maybe again and looking at it as negative, and it might show itself as that. But I really know beyond that, it's going to be such a different way of living. I don't really know how it's going to be, but I just know that it's going to be an exciting journey, and I know life eventually will start getting easier for everybody. But right now, a lot of everybody's, I call it heavy energies or heavy story, is now starting to release. And I worked with quite a few clients, even today, a client who was just feeling lately, before I got on the call with you, just heavy in her stomach, not knowing, what's happening. I mean, she's a, pretty upbeat person, but she just felt kind of depressed, and she's like, I don't know. And I said, well, you're not the only person who's feeling this today. And of course, I worked with her on clearing that, and she felt much better in our short session. But it's a lot of people, and I think more people who are aligned And usually your show, people are more open to what's happening here. So I think that everybody pretty much on your show here is, I call it being on the spiritual fast track, okay? So meaning that we're all conscious of this ascension process. And you know, you have so many different healers. I mean, we're all doing our work, you know, and kind of following the vibration of what feels right to you. So, and I think that we just keep uncovering and earthing things, and as they come up, I really feel that there's always a timing for clearing things, and you kind of know, and it just kind of comes up, and then you just you work with it or whatever you need to do, whatever you're guided to do, and it just releases, and then you start feeling a little bit lighter. And I call it, we just keep raising our vibration as we keep unearthing these really heavy, dense energies off of us from this lifetime, or like we were just talking about, our family line, our ancestral epigenetics, okay? But either way, this is the work we signed up for. I really believe so before we came here, okay?
Absolutely. Yeah, I love that. And I think it really puts the power back in us that we are sort of captaining this ship because we chose to be here. Now, when you work with people, I was amazed actually because we're going to jump in with a few folks, but it's not only been abundance challenges. You've had people who, it's one lady, Kathy, I couldn't walk up the stairs. I had all this discomfort, and now I'm able to. Another person, I had more energy. Another person, I'm breathing more freely, said Martina in Las Vegas. Another lady had migraines. What do you think is happening with some of the body shifts? I know we're going to be talking about abundance, but what happens with these high frequencies and some of the body discomforts that are going on? Where does all that go in the presence of this high energy?
Well, I do feel, even myself, I had a lot of stored, trapped emotions that I, as a child, I could not bear to deal with. Okay, so what I did with my trapped emotions, everybody, is I pushed them down as low as I could into my body, which I suffered for many years with digestional issues, pain in my body, and they kind of like really was really hard for me too. And I work with my clients in this as well. Is they get kind of hardened in your body if they're not really addressed. They almost turn into like a really hard cement type of energy in your body. And obviously I know how to use my sound to kind of crack open this energy, but you know, sometimes not just simple emotional release always works, you know, breath work. You know, a lot of people say breath work is, yes, great for some people, but for me, I was a cement being walking around, didn't feel my feelings half my life, and all my trapped emotions were stuffed in my body, and there was no way of them releasing, okay, no matter how much Qigong I did or breath work. So, you know, I think that with like Kathy, like this person you just mentioned, let's put it this way, everybody. We can attract and we can work on ourselves. We also need to work on our physical, because if we don't have a healthy body or vessel to take us on our journey and feel good in our body, I mean, come on, let's face it, health is everything. So I like to say that my work is not just addressing the money aspect. Of course it is. It's also addressing the health. Okay, we need to have abundance of health. Don't you agree? And this, we're also working with all parts or all facets of abundance in our life, everybody. It's also abundance of just happiness, okay? Feeling happy, feeling your natural birthright of what you're really supposed to feel, everybody, as we are all divine beings from the divine creator. That's our natural birthright. But I can tell you, I went through my whole life, Darius, not even ever feeling happiness or knew what a giggle was, because my whole life was serious from day one, okay? I had to have a job. I didn't have the childlike play, you know what I mean, like most kids did, you know. So, yeah, it's just something I had to learn later on in my life, I guess, you know.
Yes, I agree. And we're going to be breaking up some of those frequencies, which is what we're going to be doing here. So we got a lot of questions coming in, a lot of people with their hands raised. So I'm going to go straight to Michelle. She's in Tennessee. And anything you need to know from each caller as we sort of work through a couple beautiful souls today?
All I need to know, if they're just on the phone, I don't need to know anything except their story. And then if they have something going on with them, I could try to break up some of these blocks with them right on the phone.
Okay. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. So, Michelle, how are you today? And what's the biggest thing we could help you with?
Hi. Thanks for taking my call. Probably anxiety. I just can't seem to... I'm okay for a while, and then I just, right now, my heart's palpitating. I'm just back in anxiety again. I'm not sure why or how to clear it.
Okay, could I was going to say it's okay to talk serious? Okay.
Of course.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Okay, hi, Michelle. This is Dawn Crystal. I don't think we've ever spoke before. Is this our first time?
Yes.
So sweetheart, do I have a permission to look in your energy?
Yes, please.
Okay, so Michelle, it's true with you that you grew up with some trauma early on in your life. Is that true? You actually had a couple situations. Yeah, and so right now you're kind of at the turning point like a lot of people. And I kind of feel right now there's a lot, I don't know if you listen to the news, but it's almost like your soul's saying you're kind of picking up on just the world of uncertainty right now. Is your job in jeopardy or something right now, or just, where you're at as far as the unknown?
I'm not working right now. I'm trying to re-enter the job market. I had to quit work first. I had to have surgery, so I had to quit work, and now I'm trying to get back into the workforce.
Okay. Would you like to have some stability in your own divine power come into your body today to assist you? And I'd like to kind of ease your inner child right now more into your heart chakra, so they know that they're divine, and they're kind of we're going to help them kind of ease themselves to know that there's more to you than beyond the story that you're living in. Would you like some of this energy, which is really your truth?
Yes, please.
Okay, so my energy, all I do is ask Michelle while I'm just doing this mini session, I call it. I want you, could you imagine the divine creator, God or source above your head? And as I'm making sound, I'm going to bring in some light of, I call it your own divine light frequency, your own birthright, your own personal power to you, so you can start feeling yourself, more of you and less of the world. Does that sound good?
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay, so let's go ahead and do that now. And are you normally sensitive to energy work? I was just curious because people who are sensitive will feel my energy right away.
Yes, I am.
Okay, let's allow this to happen. And please understand and know that I only work with your highest good, okay?
Thank
All right, let's begin. Yeah, right, Michelle, let's begin with some sound. Just receive this. This is what you're ready for. You have a heavy energy at your head. I call it the Kovic morphic field. Do I have permission to clear this off your head right now?
Yes.
Okay, don't get startled. One quick sound. Did you feel that? It's leaving. Just like a heavy energy. Let's bring in some energy and light to you now. Let's bring every age of you from birth to where you're at right now in your heart chakra with your divine self, your loving self that's always been there to support you and love you. Bringing your personal power to your feet as well. So you stand firm on planet Earth. Can you feel that kind of happening right now, Michelle?
Yes.
Okay, I want you to receive it. Can you feel there's a lightning happening on your heart right now? Getting lighter?
It's still palpitating, so I'm not sure.
That's okay. Well, we're just easing your inner child. There it goes. I want you to breathe a little deeper in your stomach as I'm releasing some trapped emotions. There goes your light to your feet. Okay, so Michelle, this is just a sampling, but take a deep breath and tell me if you can get sense of some energy coming through you that's really beautiful and it's loving and it's nourishing and I call it light and nourishing. Are you aware of that?
I feel releasing, that there's releasing going on.
Well, there is. Can you can I get a sense and I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, can you get a sense that things are starting to lighten up in your heart, all this anxiety?
Yes.
Yes. Can you get a sense that your neck and shoulders are finally starting to loosen up that were so tight when we got on the phone here?
Yes.
Can you get a sense that right now that you didn't have this happen before, but if you really feel your feet, you might feel a little tingly right now, or maybe a little bit even heavier, which is really your personal power. It might be new to you. It might be kind of foreign. I call it foreign to try on for size or really your own life. But can you get a sense of that there's a little bit more stability happening within yourself that's starting to show itself right now?
I can feel my feet where I wasn't aware of them before.
Right. So I can hear it in your voice that things are starting to lighten up. Now, I do want to mention how I work, Michelle. Because this energy is very short, I just gave you an activation and cleared out some trapped emotions that were stuck in your tummy. If you can feel there's a little bit more movement or getting lighter in your stomach. Are you aware of that?
Yes.
Okay, I just cleared that. That was part of it, okay? So there could have been some old stuff that Darius and I were talking about today about us unearthing things that are ready to be shown. So some of yours was some trauma that I just cleared on you that was causing some anxiety. Now, I'm not saying you're not living a little bit in the unknown, which a lot of us are right now with the uncertainty of the world. But before you weren't even aware of your feet, and your feet were kind of numb is the way I looked at it. I brought in your light. So you're more grounded right now. Now, with having this and also having a deeper connection into your truth is what I brought was your own soul and the body stronger. That's going to help you on your journey because you might get more insight now and more expansion on what your next steps are to take versus before you were living more out of your head and just not really knowing what to do. Can you get the sense that you're more into your body right now?
Yes.
Yes. And I can hear it in your voice. So, Michelle, this is a sampling of what I do. It's called bringing people back to who they truly are. My work beyond anything I do is really connecting you into your truth and really connecting you into your spirit. And that's what we just did. And I did it in 2 minutes, but I'm grateful that you were here and allowed me to do it because you got the benefit of getting some clearing of the blockage that was also in your stomach causing a lot of anxiety. Now, you're going to have some release after this right now, so please drink some extra water because you probably will be releasing for the next day or so. And if you do get some emotion come up right after our call, Michelle, please do not think there's something wrong. This is actually the stuff that's been kind of stuck in your lower stomach that had no way of releasing, and I just was able to do that. And I was just talking about myself, how I had that for many years, except yours was easier to release than mine. So that's a blessing, okay?
Thank you. Yes, I already feel the emotions coming.
And I cleared your energy too, so your energy was not cleared. So you should feel a lot more peaceful at the moment as well. So Michelle, thank you so much. I'm so humbly grateful to serve you and serve your highest good. And just thank you for being on the show today.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you, Dawn. Thank you, Darius.
Oh, thank you. It does feel more, and again, I'm not trying to, it just feels like there's more of a cohesive field, I guess, is what I'm feeling from, not just from her and what she's saying, but just kind of all of us. It just feels more cohesive. So I want to do this. We're going to be doing a group process, and gosh, I'd love to get another person. What can we do? You know what? We got a lot of questions coming in, so I think if we could kind of do some of the Q&A folks that are writing in from other parts of the world, and maybe you could just kind of help people understand what's going on. We've got Gregario says, "Hey Don, I just moved from Austin, sold my home, moved temporary to an apartment, bought a new home in El Paso, Texas. I felt I needed to move back here. I'm currently by myself, but I feel somehow stuck, out of work, and looking for a way to find an income and how to break through. Also, find out what's next for me and my wife. She's coming to join me this weekend, also without a job." You know, when Gregario wrote this, I could feel the energy just sort of pouring off this question. I could sort of see him. I could see where he is in my mind's eye. I know, listen, guys, girls, everyone, I know this feeling. I know this feeling. I got to share, when I first left my job that I had at Deloitte & Touche, I started buying and selling real estate. And I remember I bought this one small little, it was a trailer home, and I was basically flipping these different homes. And I remember I was sitting there in my apartment waiting. I'd put the for sale sign up and was waiting for people to call, and nobody called. And I remember 2-3 days just watching the sun go into evening and my stomach wrenching and no money coming in and fearful. Now, I wasn't living my life path at the time, but I know what Gregorio is feeling. And Dawn, what would you say to him as he's listening in right now? And I know he's probably opened up a lot of energies for us all, because we've all probably been there, or maybe are there.
Mm-hmm. Well, I can tell you what, he does have an abundance, a block, I would call it, of doubt and fear going on really strong with him right now.
Okay.
So, I mean, I'm willing to send him some energy, but is he able to type back? How would you like me to handle that?
Yeah, if he could, Gregorio, if you could type in, type back, let us know. And if not, let's send him some frequency that it might just lift people up that are sort of plugging into that resonance that he's feeling. I'm sure he's not the only one that's felt that or is feeling it.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely. So let's go ahead and just, since this is a show that we can all kind of tune into, we're going to send this energy right to him, Gregorio, right? Is it Gregorio?
Yep.
Is that right?
I think it
El Paso,
is.
Texas? Okay, and if he could type back in, tell me if let us know if he felt this, okay? It's going to help him. So let's do this now for a minute, giving this energy right to Gregorio, what his highest good is and what he's needing to clear his doubt and fear. Okay, I just did a lot of energy work with him in a very short period of time. As I cleared up his emotions of that, trapped emotions, and since he was wobbly or not really grounded as well, I just brought his personal power to his feet. So hopefully he felt that, because he was having he was living more in his brain, which was causing a lot of anxiety, so I brought more of his energy into the heart. So hopefully he got a feeling, at least felt that, because that was pretty powerful.
Yeah, let us know if you're there, my brother, what you're feeling and how you are doing. I'll be checking periodically through the whole call, and just know that nothing is set in stone. All right, he can respond back, and he's going to be writing back into us here. Felt it very strongly, he said. Anything else? Any other guidance? We've got him captured on the line here. Anything else you want to share with him as he's plugging in?
Yeah, it's like he's living in the unknown right now, and there's also, he has to remember that a lot of us are being challenged at this time, really to bring us into deeper levels of truth, of really awakening us, I guess, in some ways, to know that we're more beyond what we're seeing and what we've ever known of ourselves before. So he's in the process, right now he's on this wonderful journey, and he's guided to this new town, and things are going to open up with him within time. But right now it's about just nourishing himself right now, and just trusting in the process that this is going to unfold for him in a way that's going to be even better for him. But he's kind of living a little bit, and that's why I just cleared some fear out of him. I wanted to raise his vibration so he could start feeling, oh yes, having more of a knowing, oh, this is going to work out. I'm okay. My wife's going to get here. She's going to be fine. She's going to find a job. But it's like right now he wasn't as connected to his truth or his divine self, and that's what I did, as I just kind of plugged him in stronger to his truth to remember, oh yeah, I'm okay, everything's okay. I know this is going to work out, okay, and I grounded in his personal power. So that was big, because he was not grounded at all, okay?
I love this. I mean, these are 2-3 really big things: grounding your truth, your personal power, getting out of the head, getting into that heart frequency. He says, I'm feeling it in my whole body. Thank you. Yeah, this is key. I mean, that was the same thing I was feeling, and it feels like that energy just dissipated, as we're feeling it out here. So I want to do this. We've got a group process that's going to be helpful for everybody here today, and Gregorio and everyone else listening in, or whenever you hear this call, and it's called the Magical Magnet to Unlimited Abundance and Flow. Tell us what we're going to do with this, and then we'll do it.
Okay, so what I'm going to do for everybody is I'm going to clear off, number one, when I do the crown chakra, I'm going to clear the COVID morphic field on everybody, Darius. That's a heavy energy.
Wait a minute. What is that? You can't drop that here and just let it be. What is this COVID
Okay.
morphic field? It doesn't sound good to me. I don't like it. I don't want it.
It isn't. Well, nobody wants it. It's just the energy around our planet right now that's just kind of, a lot of us, especially I can see you're sensitive too, a lot of us could be picking up on it and be conscious of it and not conscious of it, but it's just kind of like an energy that kind of resides around, and it kind of affects our upper chakras, and it really kind of brings some fear if we really tap into it, but it also creates a lot of, how can I put it, kind of haziness within your thoughts, like maybe Gabriel was feeling, kind of like not sure type of feeling, because it's just the way it is. But I want to clear it for everybody so we can actually start seeing clearer through our eyes and really be more of our, more expanded and be our high vibration that we normally are, and not really get tapped into the low density of what's happening here right now or the story. So that's kind of summing it up somewhat. So I'm going to be making a loud sound here, okay, to clear that, okay? So just to let everybody know my sounds and my voice not only clear blockages, but they clear energy. And the louder the sound, sometimes my voice gets, the more energy I'm moving and clearing. So if that's okay with you, Darius, I'm going to go ahead and start if you give me the okay.
I sure as heck don't want that thing around, that morphic field around. Blast it out into cosmic space. Let's get rid of that dang thing once and for all.
All right, thank you so much. I'm grateful I could do this for everybody. Okay, let's let everybody just start at the top of our head. I'd like to call it just the crown chakra, okay, because we'll be clearing all the chakras above our head, which reaches above, but we want to make our source connection stronger, so I'll be go ahead and clearing all the way up, beyond that. So let's just imagine everything releasing right now, everybody, that's really not serving you. It could be in your body, it could be just thoughts or whatever it may be going. I just want you to imagine it's just releasing for this moment of right now. This is your time, and we're just going to release the story right now of your life, whatever's happening for you or bothering you. And we're going to clear this COVID morphic field, okay? It's a little tongue twister. All right, so let's go ahead and start right now with some sounds. And don't worry if my sound is clear or not. It doesn't matter. It's the vibration underneath my voice that's doing the work. So let's go ahead and start right now with the first clearing at the top of our head. Okay, I'm going to clear that sound with the sound of the COVID, the morphic field right now. It'll be releasing. There it goes. Just let it go. And some people feel like almost like a lid's been kind of pushed off your head. I call it just blowing the cap off the lid. So if you felt that, fine. If you get a little dizzy, don't worry, everybody. You will not stay dizzy for long. It's also clearing your third eye. Okay, even if you're not feeling it, because some people's minds might be a little too busy multitasking, don't worry about that. Just take a deep belly breath, everybody, right now, into the belly, easy and effortless, nothing forced, just easy. And release that on the out breath. Everything that's just kind of leaving you right now, that's not serving you, is just releasing, easy and effortless. Okay. I'd like to go down to the throat chakra and do a little throat chakra clearing for everybody who's not really aligned to speaking their wisdom or truth easily and effortlessly. So anyway, let's put your attention right now, everybody, right in the throat for just a moment as I do some sound clearing and activation of the throat. Okay, so let's do that right now. Put your attention right in the throat. Okay, let's just take another deep breath into the belly, easy and effortlessly. And let it go. Easy, nothing forced. Okay, so this is the fun part, because this is where we want to be the divine creator that we really want to manifest. We want to manifest whatever we're wanting in our life easy. So I imagine that everybody here has something in their life that they want. Okay, I would say it would be some kind of goal, some kind of goals or goal. And I want you to put that goal, everybody, as I do a heart clearing right now. I'll be releasing It could be heart walls, whatever it is. But I want to open up your heart to receive, okay? To really receive everybody today. So I want you to put whatever you're wanting in your life right now into your heart, okay? Because we're gonna let that manifest. They're really strong. Okay, so I'm making different sounds. Just imagine that being nurtured. It's like the divine universe is going to come in and just plant these beautiful divine, watering this, I call it watering your divine goals, like seeds into the earth. And it's going to start growing after this today. And you might be guided after this session today to take some action. Maybe it will be. You don't know. Everybody's different. But usually people have some kind of like expansion type of aha moment. And a lot of those start happening more and more. So let's go ahead and do that right now to the best of your ability and put your goal or whatever you want to achieve right now in your life that you really want. And let's go ahead and plant that and nurture that in our heart as I make these sounds. Expanding it out. Oh, that's so beautiful. Let's take another easy breath into the belly, everybody. Breathing in the divine light that you are and releasing everything that's not you on the out breath that doesn't serve you. Easy and effortlessly. Okay, I want to bring in everybody's light and personal power stronger into the body. So now that we created some space in our body, I want you to imagine this divine light coming in from our crown chakra, like gentle droplets of rain, like white rain, just kind of flooding through you from your inside out of your body. Beautiful, loving, divine energy, just soothing, loving, nurturing, healing from your head all the way down to your face, to your neck, to your chest, filling you up from the inside out, any empty spaces with this beautiful divine light of who you truly be, of love and unconditional, down your chest, through your heart, down your stomach, filling up any parts of your stomach, any organs, any part of your being that's maybe had injury or anything hurting. Just let it be filled up with this beautiful divine light of who you are. Through your back, if there's any part of your back hurting, just let it come in and trickle into those little areas where you're hurting, nourishing you from the inside out, everybody. Coming down both your beautiful legs, down both your calves, everybody. It's trickling down like these beautiful, gentle, loving stream of beautiful, divine, soothing light down your feet, okay? It's going to exit down your feet, everybody, down this beautiful, white, divine, loving cord, the divine grounding cord, down to this beautiful, loving planet of Mother Earth, and it's going to center there and really ground you into your power. So let's go ahead and imagine this energy coming through you, in you, and soothing you and bringing life to you and nourishment, happiness, joy, whatever you're needing in your life right now. Just allow it to happen for your highest good. And let's do that right now with these sounds. And just receive, everybody, receive. Look at your feet, everybody. It's coming right to your feet. Don't be afraid of your power. It's really you. Oh, so beautiful, everybody. Let's take another beautiful, loving breath into our bellies. Easy and effortless. And let it go on the out breath with easy, effortless. I hope everybody felt something there. That was really deep. So thank you, Darius. That concludes my group process, and I hope I was able to bring some light and healing and whatever anybody else was wanting, and of course manifest into our hearts of what we truly desire. And thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Wow. I want to ask everybody, share with us. I know John loves to hear your comments. Share with us at uwealthrevolution.com/now. I want to hear what is going on, what you started feeling. And that first, I won't even say the word, the matrix breaker thing that we went off this planet, and also any of the stuff around it, because it's more than just that. It's not just a thing that there's a whole agenda behind all that stuff. We call it the Great Reset, which I don't think anybody, if you really look into that, is seeing that as 5D. But I appreciate you for breaking that up, because I could feel almost like a frequency fence, and I've heard about this throughout time, of like a fear fence that we can get trapped in on, almost like a glass ceiling, right? And I could feel this breaking up. And when you did that final, like, high-pitched, it was almost like it shattered, and I was like, oh, thank gosh, thank goodness, because I do believe there's a lot of energetic manipulation around many things going on, and it's not just what we think. I mean, it's being used as a Trojan horse for a lot of stuff, and I've been very strongly saying that. I think a lot more people are starting to realize it if you are aware. But a lot of people writing in as well. Wow, quite a few people. So keep sharing with us at uwealthrevolution.com/now. And wow, someone said, love you, Darius. Thank you for that. Amen. I will always share. I am not afraid. Brittany wrote in, said, wow, I can't believe it. I hadn't been feeling my feet or legs, and I have an awareness now all the way up to my hips now that wasn't there 5 minutes ago. Wow. If Dawn would be willing, I would love to hear what she can see in my neck, upper back, shoulders, and around my rib cage. I've literally had chronic pain there for years. Also feel very stuck in my finances, marriage, career, and otherwise. So this is Brittany. I don't think we've worked on her. This was just someone listening, got that from the activation. She's in Mesa, Arizona. Anything you want to share for her as she is listening in?
Yeah, so Brittany, it's almost like I see like your neck and shoulders almost has like your inner child. I can see that with her. She has an inner child of her, actually there's several, that are afraid to, this happens with people, are just afraid to move forward. Okay, so I can see that she's trying to push and shove, and her inner child's just kind of resisting. So I'm going to give her a little jolt into the neck area right now and see if she can tell me if she feels that, because I'm going to release that for her, and tell me if she feels more flow, okay? So I'm going to do that quickly.
All right.
There it goes. It's almost like she had a noose around her neck. I hate to say that, Darius, but that's what it looks like. I'm breaking it up now. Okay, so I got an energy flow going from her upper body to her lower body, so let's see if she can feel that. And I broke that, it was just like almost like something wrapped around her neck. I don't know what it was, but it was an energy, and I was able to release it. So we'll see if she can feel that.
Wow. All right. Very good. Let us know, Brittany. Oh, my gosh. I got a lot of interesting comments coming in as well. So as y'all are feeling it and sharing, let us know. Another person wrote in, thank you. New beginnings, perfectly feeling it now. Another person wrote in, said I had literally a bit of like a fluctuation of my energy and discomfort. Now it is balanced, and I am feeling much more peace and light, says Anne. So as you're feeling this, as you're writing in, let us know what you're feeling. Another person said, I'm feeling more awareness all over my body, grounded in much more to peace. So that is Cynthia. Keep sharing with us, uwealthrevolution.com/now. And, you know, when we're working on this stuff, one of the things I kind of feel is we're shattering some things that I feel like they shouldn't still be dense on the planet, but they are. I mean, why are we still holding on to stuff? What's going on?
Well, it's just the old paradigm. We're working on ourselves, and you know, and again, we kind of signed up for this in some ways to make these shifts, but they're not always comfortable for us spirits in the physical as they're coming up to be on Earth. You know, so it varies per person, but yeah, there's like in some ways I call it we just shattering these glass ceilings or whatever you want to call them, the wall, and what you were just saying before. We are doing that, and that's frequency that's coming through me right now that I didn't have years ago. That's higher. Of course, I've been doing my own work as well to raise my frequency constantly. It's just whatever we're ready for. You know what I mean? I don't put it like any belief system on it. I just know what I have to do. You know what I mean? I just know what I'm guided to do and what I can do. So that's what's happening. In Brittany's case, I kind of felt even with her that she, you know, she's just kind of like self-sabotaging herself. So that's what I was picking up on that, almost with her inner child. And that happens with a lot of us. You know, it happens with a lot of us, Darius. A lot of us, we're all like want to move forward and change our life, but there's always going to be some aspect of ours, I call it the human side or the ego, that's afraid to change, okay? It's just our human nature in some ways, and we have to be loving with that. That's what we have to remember. You know, there might be a lower frequency of us, but it's there for a reason, and it probably protected us early on or whatever, but it's still there. And we just need to love it, but still allow it and let it know it's okay. And then we release it into the light where it came from originally, and it's at peace, and it never affects us ever again. Okay? So that's part of the blockages.
I love that. And we're getting some interesting comments. Brittany, who we just worked on kind of on the fly, said, I had goosebumps all over my body. Thank you, Don. I felt, yes, it was like a noose. Exactly. She says, I felt a rush of energy go up to the top of my head, feeling my entire body now. Now, she couldn't feel very much of her whole body. Now she feels her whole body amazing. Thank you so much. Thingama is in India, one of our beautiful, loyal listeners. Thank you, Thingama, for being here. It's always an honor to have you. And she says, wow, that feeling of solid grounding, I am now raring to go. This was all-encompassing. Wow, I would love to have more of this released. So as we are moving forward, we're going to be talking about how to release more of this, particularly around abundance challenges and blockages that may be coming up. And I want to talk about some of the ways you're doing this, because some of the things you're going to be sharing are, number one, getting clear on your future, clearing blocks to welcoming and receiving abundance. Turning blocks into profits. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. This is all part of a very special love offering from Dawn Crystal to help people all over the world. And one of the things that Dawn wants to do is move people into this space in 2021. And I want to just start off, how do we turn a block into profit? And profit doesn't certainly mean money. I mean, it could be profiting as a soul, sort of like getting that harvest of going forward and receiving and being bountiful in your journey. But how do we turn a block into something bountiful?
Well, basically by clearing out the dense energy, okay? That's block, and that's there. Once you clear out that space of where whatever that block is, it obviously opens you up to co-create whatever you want. You have more of a freer feeling. And a lot of people who do clear these, I have like 17 will be, in this program, but you start clearing these, you start feeling more expansive, okay? So this is opening you up to abundance in every aspect of your life, okay? Of course, we're talking about money, but we're also talking abundance in every aspect. Maybe you just want to really open yourself up, like you said, to create a business or something, and you don't even know what your gifts are, right? But you're so bogged down with these heavy blocks, or just these unconscious blocks within our being. Once they're freed, I mean, you got a free space to co-create, and you can actually I usually say manifest, or, in your meditation, really bring in what you want into your space, I usually, with my MP3s that we talking about, actually bringing in light, okay, your light. So this way you keep yourself at the highest frequency and you keep raising your vibration. And of course you'll probably get new, I call it insights. You'll get more like aha moments, excitement. Oh, I want to try this, or I want to do this, or I just feel like to do this. I don't know why. I've never felt this way before. Yeah. It really, it like births a new side of you guys that it's really what people are ready for right now. You know, we're going through a huge shift, and this is all about really releasing the old, wherever it's coming from. You know, yourself, your past, this lifetime. Like I said, we were just talking about your genetics, your ancestral, or DNA, you know, encodings. So it's, you know, we're covering everything here, okay? Because everybody's going to have a different situation, okay, of where it's coming from.
Well, it's all here. I'm going to be talking about it. And maybe most exciting, although I'll say it all is pretty exciting, is the fact that you're doing one-on-one support, 25 minutes, where if people would like some guidance, deep clearing personally, to clear deep inherited beliefs and open up your heart chakra, so you're going to get to experience with Dawn Crystal a literal heart chakra activation to clear deep layers of unconscious blocks, to ground into your life force energy stronger so you can attract abundance faster, and then even setting a new money thermostat, which I want to ask you about because that's pretty cool. All of this is part of what Dawn is doing for U.S. Revolution this season, and it's at uwealthrevolution.com/Dawn, DAWN 20, Dawn 20, like a new dawn, beautiful new morning. Well, Dawn 20, she's a beautiful new beacon of light here in the world, doing this in a very unique way. And Dawn, when people work with you one-on-one, I mean, I'm kind of curious, like, what is a new money thermostat? How does that work, and what does that do for us?
Well, it's basically clearing our belief systems and everything that's been kind of holding us back to what we're really wanting. Because most people who come to me for a session, Darius, are always wanting more. But there's just, when we really go in and do the work in a very short period of time, I think it's only 25 minutes. I can do magic in 25 minutes.
Wow.
People feel so much freer. And my work, and as callers again felt it today on the call, is that really I'm connecting into your birthright, okay? Your divine birthright to be, to co-create whatever you want with the divine, okay? So I'm really connecting you really into that energy of source, of God, okay? And when you're connected with that, oh my goodness, that's why a lot of callers are feeling lighter, more free. And that's what you feel when you work with me as well as doing any of my work or listening to anything I do, because it's about really kind of having you remember who you truly are, and really remembering your birthright, that you are you're worthy of everything. You're from the divine, okay? You're from Creator. There's no limitations on God or Source, and the same happens for you. We just need to clear our story, and that's what we're doing with my sessions, okay?
Yeah, I love this. And one of the things, you know, when you think about a thermostat in your house, you know, you set the temperature to 70. If it gets too hot, you know, then it kicks on. If it gets too cold, then it also stops running until the temperature gets to that right point. The thermostat sort of like sets the level. It sets the level that even if circumstances change, environments change, economies change, presidents change, the world changes, that thermostat continues to hold that level, and it keeps generating that same level. And so when you think about money or abundance, it's about maybe realizing that you set the thermostat, not the economy, not COVID or whatever else it is. There's so many ways. It's all within us once we have the right understanding of who and what we are. So, yeah, if you want to set a new money thermostat in 2021 or even right now, it'll happen in 25 minutes or less with Dawn. I'll share where it is, uwealthrevolution.com/Dawn, DAWN 20. So when we talk about this, I mean, this could be for anything that people are going through, you know, but I love the idea of the new money thermostat, but it could also be like a love thermostat, right? Or, you know, a health thermostat, just so you can feel more vital and good about yourself and loving thoughts. So tell me about these things.
Well, it's abundance of your life, really, everybody, okay? We're talking about connecting every aspect of your life together. It's not just money. I mean, if you don't have health, everybody, you know, I don't know about you. I think that's the most important abundance of life you need, because if you don't have a healthy vessel or body, we really don't have much. But my work goes deeper, too, with everybody. I'm clearing cellular memory, okay, as well, so it doesn't keep repeating itself, okay? Yes, we are raising the money thermostat, but we do need to make sure that we clear everything on the way so you don't go back into the old ways of being again, okay, because that can happen. So I'm very clear as far as clearing genetic imprints, tags, and cellular memory. And, of course, any DNA coding that you have that would be, you know, I don't want a trickle effect back. I want you to keep moving forward. So that's all about my work, okay? So I work really deep with people to really help people move forward in their life. And anybody who's worked with me knows my work. They feel it. They feel it. We get done with the session. there's no question about that it worked. Do you know what I mean? People just know right away. They're like, oh my God, I feel like a whole new person, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's
now,
just the way it is.
I'm curious about the heart chakra opening because if I know I've worked with you and it's amazing, and I would be like, boy, I really want to open up this heart chakra, like blow it out, because I know when I go places, I can pretty much do whatever I want, and I never have any problems with anything in terms of like if I want more abundance. If I open up my heart chakra and I'm walking this huge heart field, I seem to have like people, I get free meals, good things comes in.
Mm-hmm.
If I, I'm just like, if I walk in though with this closed sort of angered energy, I can guarantee you I'm going to have challenges. My car breaks down, things don't go well, all sorts of things happen,
Mm-hmm.
right? People don't respond to me and I'm waiting in line and all that stuff that makes your day frustrating. The heart chakra activation and opening, what do you do in that part? If somebody says, hey, I want a session with you, I want to open that up, I want to blast that out in 2021, what do you do?
Mm-hmm. Well, a lot of my work is sound, okay? So when I'm guided, I connect in with a person's soul right away. And that's where I'm guided because their soul kind of gives me the story of their life, of what's really happening right now and what's going on with their heart, okay? Because that's usually, it would take me a long time if I was looking through everything. So I'm kind of guided right away where to go with them, what's happening with their heart, why is it closed? If it's closed, where do these heart walls come from? And then I just get frequency that I know to use to start really busting down the heart walls or dissolving them is what I call it. And of course, I could usually see a lot of times within the heart as well, there could be sometimes deep emotions or I call it a disconnection. A lot of people have that, especially if you've had any trauma, everybody in this life. Sometimes we've had traumas. It could be verbal, it could be just physical traumas. A lot of times we could have disconnection of the heart to body disconnection or heart to spirit disconnection. And during my 25-minute sessions, I go in and reconnect all of that because a lot of people, I've had people who were thrown out of their car in an accident and they never felt the same again, and they have a session with me, and of course I could see that they have a spirit to body disconnection or body to body disconnection, and I go in with sound and reconnect all of that so they could feel more whole and home as a person in their body, because a lot of times people just don't feel, they feel something's wrong, they don't feel something's right, they can't put their finger on it. So the heart is a very, it's a space that I work on to open in a very loving way, whatever a person is ready for, and what I'm invited to release. So their soul shows me. But people who get my heart activations could feel, a lot of people cry when I'm doing them, okay, because it's really a reunion back home to your true self. And that's really the best word I can really describe for that. So it's very deep, but it's very nourishing. And especially if you've had trauma or you grew up in this lifetime like I did with no love at all, it's really comforting to know that the love was always there and just maybe we just didn't know where to find it, okay? So I really help people connect home really to that, really find their truth and that true love that's really residing in everybody's heart. So it's a deep connection, and I do it within my sessions, so definitely. And it's a beautiful, because it does connect you into abundance, deeper. I mean, it expands you, just like you said, Darius. You're in a whole different field when you're actually open and expanding your heart. Well, I'm doing that in the sessions, but I'm also releasing whatever was blocking that to be your reality, okay, to be your natural reality. So it's a beautiful process that I do, and I do it pretty much all the time. I like to connect people in with their divineness.
And when you're working and you're seeing into the field and you're kind of looking and okay, we're done, we've made the connection, this is different now as you're looking into their energy field.
When you mean at the end of the session, Darius?
Yeah, at the end.
Yeah, I usually know. I usually get I have little, my soul kind of taps me in a certain way to know, okay, they just received the frequency. And then I go into, usually at the end of my sessions, I'll go into sounds of integration. And the sounds, I don't talk. I just keep making sounds. So this way, when the person gets off the phone with me, their energy is still working. Okay, it goes on for days beyond me talking. I've already done what I needed to do. I showed up, I did the activation, I cleared, I did everything. I gave them the frequencies that they needed on all levels, including their spirit, whatever they're needing, and they're good to go, and they could feel it, and it's just really nourishing for a person. I think the word I'd like to use is nourishment from the inside out. People could feel the nourishment, okay? And, this is just what I do, So it's what I do every day. So, but people are searching for just to feel this, So it's like my gift to the world, of what I bring in my gifts and what I do in my sessions, and of course even in my work, anything I put out.
I love it. Well, if you want to go deeper, we've got these very discounted. It's a beautiful love offering. Package B is 25 minutes with Dawn Crystal, and it's 93% off of a $2,587 value because you're going to get a bunch of stuff on the page that we're going to talk about. It's $177, which is amazing. You can even, since it is an abundance package and we're talking about perhaps, being challenged, I know what that's like. You can even pay in installments, and it is just $89 2 installments. Now, Dawn, in addition to that, people are going to get everything on the page. And the first thing that you're covering here, I love, opening your way to abundance. Now, here, you first talk about clearing resistance, then getting clear on your future, clearing blocks to welcoming and receiving abundance so you can cultivate talents inside that let you be paid for being you, and then turning the blocks into profits. These are 4 steps, 4 energy frequency activations. Tell me a little bit about kind of what you do in just one of them. How do you move through this? Is there a little bit of dialogue, and then do you move into the frequency work, or how do you go?
There's definitely some dialogue. I have to, because I want not everybody. I have to kind of when I put the MP3s together, I make them so everybody receives a benefit from it. Okay, because some people do need to hear some direction and stuff. So I do talk. Okay.
Right.
And then, of course, I make sounds to kind of guide people. So, and of course, I'm making a lot of sound clearing. So people just know, but it's powerful the way I do it. And I always do that usually not all my MP3s, but usually in this program I do, because I'm clearing out so much energy depending on where it's coming from. You don't even need to know where it's coming from. All you need to know is that it's just working. And people feel that. They could feel the release even in just listening to my sound recordings, okay? So does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so there's bits of frequency deep in here and also support. Now, then you move into the next thing, because it sounds like we're going to follow a track here. And the next piece would be removing the fear and doubts of abundance. This happens a lot. I find you get an idea of a new future, of a new opportunity, of a new way to live, and you start feeling the frequencies. Your heart starts to open up. You get excited. You start feeling the frequency tingles and the awareness, and then all of a sudden, something may come up. And here, you're going to move into removing these doubts and fears. Now, what do you do here, and why is this part important?
Well, I think each MP3 is important, and I just want people to know when you're listening to these, Darius, they don't need to listen in this order, okay? They really don't, because it's the way that the program's set up is they can listen to whatever they're needing, okay? So it could be daily, whatever they're needing, but of course doubt and fear is part of it. I was guided to put out all these, there's 17 of them, okay? There's a lot of them. Wow. And everybody benefits. Even if you don't think you have doubt and fear, everybody, please listen to it, because it's going to go deep. Like I said, we're going really deep with people in these clearings. It doesn't have to be just from this lifetime. So I do highly recommend everybody, please listen to all of them, okay? And, of course, I would say if you feel energy moving, because a lot of people do, stay on them for a while, because that's your body releasing, okay? I usually say with my MP3s to stay on, one MP3 for at least a week, or more. It just depends, everybody kind of knows it's using your own intuitive sense. And of course, you're going to open yourself up to being more intuitive. And when you start clearing off these abundance blocks, okay? All right, just call these blocks of life, okay? So,
I love that. Yeah, I love that, because, they're going to have them for life, and they can keep working on these and, going through them as things come up in their life and in the world. And, the interesting thing to me is you move through each of these areas that really you discovered would hold you back, because the next one is going to be clearing the feeling of being stuck, clearing clutter. When we have clutter in our life, we can't let anything else new in. What if you start becoming more abundant, and then all of a sudden your family find out, right? Or your family lineage, the ideas of, you came from this side of the tracks, that comes in. Maybe you've got a mess that you need to clean up. Maybe you get a letter from the IRS and it's like, oh my gosh. All of these things, like you have item 4 here or part 4 of item 3, which is clearing the financial mess. What do you do here? Because now it's like giving and taking versus the fire. Well, giving versus taking. Tell me about just this one piece.
Yeah, well, this is just a financial mess, but this can also be, just like I call it an energy loop or something that you might have had from the past. You might not necessarily, but we want to clear it off so you don't get affected by this in the future. Okay, this also affects your future generations, everybody. So if you have children, if you don't, but I'm just saying people, you're actually doing the work for your family as well, okay? Because we are all connected, all right? So
wow.
It just depends. But it varies per person, but it is very important to clear that, okay? If you're conscious of it or not, really.
Yeah, I agree. And I also think, as you move through different things, like you may feel a big clearing and then maybe something comes up and you get a fear of scarcity. You hear about the economy or something happening. Go to item, part 5 in item 3. But that's not all, because then item 4, and this is all at uwealthrevolution.com/Don20, we're going to go into the vibration of you. And here, I love this because it's discovering the ultimate you, generating your future self, clearing self-sabotage, and then also clearing lack of self-worth so you can clear and create money channels to fill your body with light and love to receive. So that's there. Then if that's not even good enough, you've got 21 days of remote healing. Now, how do you do this, and what are you going to be doing there?
This is really powerful, everybody. I've been doing remote work for a while, and 21 days, obviously, it's been proven 21 days to make any shift, to make changes in our life, are usually within 21 days anyway. So the 21 days is just for you to come up. I usually say people to have a goal, within their mind. They don't even have to think about this. Usually, I think it starts on January 25th. So guys, there's a date here and time that I start. You'd only have to do is just set a goal once. If you meet the goal within the 21 days, please, by all means, you could pick another goal to be met. But I send frequency through Divine Creator directly to you. I raise your vibration up. And, of course, any lower vibrations will not be affecting you at that time. So a lot of people feel this energy bubble or cocoon of light nourishing them during the 21 days. So if you're feeling the fear of the world, this is really like a blessing, because a lot of people just feel so nurtured being in this high vibration, okay? And it's also going to work on any challenge that you're having in your life. So a lot of people love my remote work just for health issues, okay? So, we're talking about abundance today and clearing abundance blocks, but we're talking about my 21-day remote that's actually a bonus. It could work on any aspect of your life of change, okay? So, and all they have to do is just allow. It's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, guys. So there's no live session with me. You just allow it. And this is something I threw in as a bonus, as a love offering for package A and package B. So just enjoy the energy. It's really nourishing for everybody.
I love this too, because it'll be kind of into the new year, and usually around like the first or second week, by the end of those weeks, all that it's going to be different. You kind of get into the pattern. You may start feeling some of those old ways and things coming up, and it's really nice to be supported. So, and also I love the fact that if you've got a big intention, if you've got something you want to create, you just put it out there, hold the space, and then let this frequency of support kind of guide you. But please, go out and do the things that you are being called to do so you can bring it forward as well. And so all of this is here. It's at uwealthrevolution.com/Don, DAWN20. It is a new Don. And to even make sure that it is a new Don, you're going to clear the blocks to having a life of balance. And this is another bonus I want to mention between now and Sunday at midnight. Because what good is it to, let's say, start attracting all this abundance and then you're fighting with your, loved ones, or you're not able to see them because you're so busy, or you're losing it because you're wasting it on, superfluous things that don't bring you value and love. I mean, look at people like Elvis, seem to have everything, and they lost who they were, at some level, right? I mean, so success and all that isn't the whole equation. What do you do in what are the blocks to a life of balance? Because that's the gift from now on Sunday to midnight, is clearing these blocks.
Yeah. Well, this is just an extra bonus that I'm throwing in. And basically, it's just really aligning people to their, I call it just kind of like, it's almost like aligning up to your highest vibration within yourself, your soul. And of course, it's almost like things that you were kind of doing maybe unconsciously, that you were maybe filling your time up with or doing that weren't really supporting you. You could make these changes much easier when you're actually aligned more to the frequency of what you're really here to do. And it's almost like you just kind of say, it's like it kind of just falls away from you in some ways naturally, or you just start changing your way or your behavior. And it's a subtle thing, but if you do it consciously, you just like, I don't need that. I don't know why I'm doing that. And it just kind of does, and it frees up your time, and then this way, you can co-create whatever you want. I mean, the life you want to do, or spend your time the way you really want to do it. Maybe you want to be more creative and write a book or something, and maybe you just clutter your time up doing this and that, and maybe your mind's scattered all over the place, and you just can't think straight, and you want to be more creative. So this is a really just an extra bonus, and it's powerful. So I'm glad that I'm able to offer that today as well.
Yeah, that's a gift that she's going to be offering, so check it out. It won't be here after Sunday at midnight. So I want to jump in real quick and take a few other questions and some interesting comments and things that people may be asking about. Go to uwealthrevolution.com/Dawn20. And I want to go straight to some of the beautiful questions from folks out there. And let me do a quick reset here. And wow, this is Brittany. She said, the pain is 100% gone. This was Brittany. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Said, what a miracle. Dawn,
I didn't even talk to her. I love it. I can't help myself.
No, we should celebrate. I mean, it's a miracle. Praise God. Praise Creator. Praise Dawn for just opening up.
No,
space,
I don't take any. I take credit, but I just want to say that's amazing and humbling, because I didn't talk to her, and I could see though she was so blocked up in her neck, and all I did was just create a flow going through her body and release whatever that noose. I call it a noose. It was just something blocking her neck.
Amazing.
That's
amazing.
It.
Yeah. She says it's gone, and she said, Dawn, you'll hear from me for a one-on-one session as well.
Excellent.
Karen Law is, she says, thank you very much. I felt that process with more white light coming into my head, right down to my body. Eventually, everything became violet. I could see violet clearly in my mind's eye. Very powerful. Wow. She's asking questions. Is there anything you see to help me remove the fibromyalgia discomfort? She says, I do healing work every day. I'm very empathic, but I live in a deprived area. I feel like I need to constantly be clearing more and more and more. She lives in, looks like Glasgow. So
what was her name? Her first name, Darius?
Karen, Karen.
Yeah. Well, I'm picking up right now that she's got it's coming in from her mother's side, so it's inherited, okay? So, that's something she can feel whatever she wants to do to work out with somebody on, but it's definitely beyond her circumstance, okay? And that can happen. It can skip generations. I'm picking it up that it's from her mother's side. It could be from her grandmother, okay?
Wow.
It's from her mother's side. I'm picking up 3 generations, Darius, okay? So that's 3 generations back. So, we do carry the family stuff, as I was mentioning before. Things, unfortunately, we kind of inherit it, okay? But that's, we're talking about clearing these things in ourselves so we can actually live a freer, fuller life,
Yep.
So, she's doing a good job. What she's doing, is just part of the process. Whenever she's ready, she's got to go deeper. And she might just do it on her own, okay? I mean, I'm just kind of putting it out there. That's what I'm seeing, okay?
Okay. Fantastic. Well, we are going to send everybody off in big love today. Dawn, any final thoughts or anything you want to share? Who is this program for? If people aren't sure if it's for them, or what would you say?
Well, I think that everything I'm offering here today is for our life, really, because, we're talking about abundance, but we're talking abundance in every aspect of our life. And I think everything that I was guided to put here, all the topics and all the clearings, is something that everybody's going to have for the rest of their life. And you can go back. These energies are and all my recordings are alive forever. Okay, so you don't have to worry. They're always going to be there. But I really know that people are ready for a change right now, and that's probably why I was so guided to come out with this. Is because I had to do it in a way that really benefits everybody. Okay, so I'm going to say this is for everybody, but people can feel it in their heart if it resonates. I mean, they felt my energy today, and the vibration, the energy I bring in my energy work, including the group process, is what I bring into all my work I bring as far as my programs and MP3s and everything else I do. So that's what I have to say, and I bring everything with the highest vibration and always aligning people to their truth and their true soul calling. So that's really part of my work too, beyond clearing the blocks. And once we can connect in with that high vibration of really what we're here to do, it just feels so yummy and so real and so alive. And that's what people really need right now. Is feel they're really alive and feel themselves and feel just renewed, a new reality.
I agree. Absolutely. Well, I want to say this too. If you want to go deeper, check it out. uwealthrevolution.com/Dawn, DAWN20. Dawn, thank you so much for opening up the space today for everybody to be free to let go of some of the nooses. And also, God, we cleared out a huge frequency field that we just need to let go of on this planet right away. And it's good. I feel lighter, brighter, and I think great things are starting to come in through those higher celestial openings that we opened up. So everybody just receive, be ready to receive. Walk out of here excited, joyful, do something that really makes you feel good and alive. If it's going for a walk, jumping for joy, going deeper with Dawn, whatever it is, remember this moment, remember this day. It can be the new start for a new life at UWealth Revolution in your world, in ours, and beyond. So thanks, Dawn, for being here and doing this for us.
Bless you, Darius, and bless you to everybody being here today. And I hope I helped somebody in some way today. That was my goal. And really, that's what I'm here to do on this earth right now. So bless you, everybody. Thank you so much for having me here.
I know you did, Dawn. Thank you for being here. We have truly just an amazing, sweet being of light, Dawn Crystal, with us. And I got to say, everybody here at UWealth, y'all are the sweetest, kindest people and the most amazing starseeds. Every one of you is here for a special reason. There's no accident. I think you are incredibly intuitive. You know the things happening on the planet. You know where we're going. You know the life you want to live. You know the way you want to feel in your heart. You know what you really desire. And that's why you came to us. And also I think to Earth at this time is to start to bring that out. And I think you know deep down there's probably something bigger for your life that makes a difference in someone else in the world. You don't just want money just to have it. You want to be able to really make a difference. And so I just applaud you for your journey. It takes bravery to be here on this earth at this time. It takes bravery to sign up for this mission, your earth mission, if you will. And I believe in all of you that you have what you need to receive and create it. And if you want help or you feel Dawn's story really resonates with maybe where you are or where you'd like to move away from, take a look. She's amazing and she has a heart of gold. UWealthRevolution.com/Dawn, DAWN 20. Much love. See you all in the next UWealth Revolution session. Take care, everyone. I love you.